In many ways, 3D printing is like how you would do icing on a cake. So you take the mixture of butter and sugar and all of that stuff and squeeze it out, and as you keep moving up, you get a three-dimensional design. It could be a rose, it could be a leaf petal, it could be a character, or one of those things. This is Captain Kirk's little badge, right? The command, Star Trek command badge. There, so starting to print, and the first thing it does is it creates what's called a skirt around the area of printing, so it marks out the area. You see how it's squeezing the plastic in a set of lines? That becomes the base layer. The capabilities are really what are exciting, which is what can this do for you and what can you do with this? And that's, for every presentation I do, that's the question I pose to people, is like, where do you think this is going to go? 3D printing has no place in finance or accounting or management. But the idea is that this is not so much about a 3D printer, it's about something that's new, something that's interesting, something that's affordable. And so what it does is it sort of, gets the gears going, the thought process going about creativity and innovation, which is what we want to capitalize on. This is not like a toaster or a microwave where you don't see how it works, you push a button and out comes the pastry. You can see every single thing, right? You can see this motor, you can see this thing getting hot, you can see these things move this way, up and down, you can see every little detail here. And I think as a pedagogical tool, learning tool, where how does this work? This is amazing because you can actually watch it work. Whereas if this thing was like a microwave, right? It'll still print the product and give it to you, but you wouldn't know how it works on the inside. It's just, a utility.
I didn't care if it worked or not. I was going to do this company. If you're going to start a company with a new product, you have to be so unbelievably bullheaded and stubborn and tenacious to drive that company forward at all costs, no matter what. Well, those are just toys. I'm like, I don't think I can pay you to print that on. Getting it in the hands of a potential consumer, getting feedback on that product is even tighter loop. So it's just fascinating that the turnaround time and the time to get to market is so much faster. But I think the interaction between a designer, a mechanical engineer, somebody that's going to be in marketing and needs to work on the message, this can all happen in one room very quickly while it's printing. It's like this. It's amazing how fast you can turn something around. Both by design, but also I told my wife we can mortgage the house, we can sell the cars, or we can do this thing called Kickstarter. And she was like, we're doing that. That's what we're doing. No investment, done. So I was like, okay. I launched on Kickstarter and held my breath, and in a very short amount of time it funded $25,000, and then it went to $830,000 and some change in a month. It just blew my mind. And my wife says, well, she was like, turn it off. I didn't want to turn it off. I was really excited about having a new business. What followed was the hardest time in my life, bar none. I was going to reciprocate. In the agreement in Kickstarter, you reciprocate with a gift. And so, but still, it was a very real expectation of what I was going to deliver and when. And so, I think in the end, eventually, at the end of I iterated and improved this product the whole time. So, unfortunately, the guys that got it, the first guy to get his printer, didn't get as good a printer as the last guy. People ask right off the bat, well, this new technology brings dangers. And it absolutely does. I think it was South America, a gentleman that bought a printer bot, printed a gun. Now, I was happy to find out that, and it was the gun that was released on that open source gun. And that got a lot of buzz. You can print guns, you're like, did you realize you can actually make guns too? Metallurgy, you can make a bow and arrow out of a stick and a string. Did you realize that? But, oh, you can print guns? Kids are going to be printing guns? I think there's probably kids out there trying to print guns, and I'm not flippant about it. You know, all around the world, it's also doing a tremendous amount of good. It's printing the limbs, the hands, the fingers for people that are missing them because of guns. So if it's out there doing damage somewhere, I think that the printers out there helping people far exceed the printers out there hurting people. You know. Now, is that true for all technology? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. But yeah, it's possible. It converts it to the black and white and the layers.